Imagine 80,000 people on their feet, the red, white, and blue filling every corner of a sold-out American stadium, and right in the middle of all that electricity, one man with the ball at his feet, the weight of a nation on his shoulders, and the world watching. Christian Pulisic, born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the kid who moved to Germany at 16 to chase a dream that most people thought was impossible. The American kid who walked into Borussia Dortmund, one of the most famous clubs in the world, and proved every single doubter wrong. They called him Captain America, and honestly, the name fits perfectly. Pulisic is not just a talented footballer. He is a symbol of what American soccer has been working toward for decades. He is the product of a generation of young Americans who grew up watching the Premier League, La Liga, and Champions League, and decided they wanted to be part of that world too. And he made it. At AC Milan, one of the most storied clubs in the history of the sport, Pulisic has become a consistent performer at the highest level. He scores big goals, he makes big plays, and when the USMNT needs someone to step up, it is always Pulisic who raises his hand. But here's what makes this story even more exciting. Pulisic is no longer alone. The USMNT in 2026 is not a one-man show. This is a team, a legitimate, talented, cohesive group of players who genuinely believe, Yucks, that they can do something no American team has ever done before. And that belief, it is contagious. Scene 3, USMNT Squad Breakdown. Narrator, let's take a look at the squad that is going to make this World Cup run possible. Because the talent on this USMNT roster is genuinely impressive. Starting in goal, Matt Turner and Zach Steffen have both earned their stripes at the European level. Goalkeeping has historically been a strong point for the United States, and that tradition continues in 2026. In defense, the United States has developed some serious quality. Sergino Dest, when healthy, is one of the most dynamic fullbacks in world football. He can defend, he can attack, and he is a constant threat going forward. Add to that the composure and experience of players like Tim Ream, and you have a defensive unit that is capable of shutting down some of the world's best attackers. In midfield, Tyler Adams is the heartbeat of this team. The Leeds and Bournemouth midfielder is exactly what you want in the center of the park. Tough in the tackle, smart in possession, and a leader by nature. He is only in his mid-20s, but he plays with the maturity and authority of a seasoned veteran. Yunus Musa adds the technical flair and energy in midfield. His ability to carry the ball forward, combine in tight spaces, and press aggressively makes him one of the most exciting young midfielders in international football. And then up front, alongside Pulisic, you have Ricardo Pepi, the big striker who spent time in Europe developing his game and has returned as a physical presence who can finish with both feet. And Josh Sargent, the Southampton forward who knows how to make runs and link play. This is a squad with real depth, real quality, and real belief. Scene 4, Home Advantage, Why USA 2026 Changes Everything. Narrator, now let's talk about something that cannot be overstated. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is being hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And for the USMNT, having the tournament on home soil is not just a logistical advantage, it is a psychological and emotional game changer. Think about it this way. In Qatar 2022, the United States performed well. They got out of a tough group, pushed the Netherlands hard in the round of 16, and showed the world that American soccer had genuinely arrived on the global stage, but they were playing thousands of miles from home in front of neutral crowds without that electric home support that can genuinely lift a team. In 2026, that changes completely. The United States will play their group stage matches in some of the most iconic sports venues in the world. MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, a TNT Stadium in Dallas. These are enormous, passionate venues, and they will be packed with American fans who have been waiting their entire lives for this moment. The energy in those stadiums is going to be unlike anything we have seen in recent World Cup history. American sports fans know how to create atmosphere. And when soccer is combined with that hometown pride and World Cup fever, The atmosphere will be extraordinary. Home advantage in a World Cup is real. Just look at the history. Host nations consistently outperform their expected level. France, 1998, Germany, 2006, Brazil, 2014. Even though Brazil famously fell short, they still made the semifinals. South Korea, 2002, reaching the semifinals in one of the biggest upsets the tournament has ever seen. The home crowd can push a team to levels they simply cannot reach on a neutral pitch. And for the USMNT, that extra boost could be the difference between a good tournament and a historic one. Scene 5, Tactical Setup, How the USMNT Plans to Win. Narrator: all right, let's get into the football, because talent and home advantage only take you so far. To make a real run at the World Cup, you need a tactical identity, a system, a way of playing that makes you difficult to beat and dangerous to face. So how does the USMNT set up, and what makes them dangerous? The United States, under their current setup, tends to be a high-energy, high-pressing team. They are not a possession-based side in the way that Spain or Germany might be. Instead, they are a team that wins the ball back quickly, transitions at pace, and tries to hurt teams in the space behind their defensive line. This style of play suits their personnel perfectly. Pulisic is at his best when he has space to run into. Tyler Adams and Yunus Musa are at their best when they are pressing and competing for the ball. And the forward line, with Pepe and Sargent, are both physical and capable of holding the ball up while the runners arrive. In a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 shape, the United States can be a genuinely dangerous team to face. They close down quickly, they transition at speed, and they have quality in the final third to punish teams on the counterattack. The key for the USMNT is going to be managing the games against the elite teams. Against England, against Germany, against Argentina, the United States cannot afford to be open and expansive. They will need to be disciplined, compact, and clinical when they get their chances. But here is the thing. They have shown they can do exactly that. In Qatar 2022, they held England to a goalless draw. They beat Iran in a must-win game. They were competitive until the very end against the Netherlands. This is a team that can mix it with the best sides in the world. And in 2026, with home support and an experienced squad, the ceiling is genuinely high. Scene 6, Key Matches and the Road to the Final. Narrator: every World Cup run begins with the group stage, and the group stage is where the United States will need to set the tone. The draw for the 2026 World Cup will determine exactly who they face, but based on their FIFA ranking and seeding, the United States should be expected to progress from their group. The home advantage, the quality of the squad, and the momentum they have built since Qatar 2022 all point toward the USMNT reaching the knockout rounds, and once you are in the knockout rounds, anything can happen. The round of 16 is where America's World Cup journey will really begin in the eyes of the world. This is the stage where they need to prove they are not just a good home team, they are a team capable of beating world-class opposition. The quarterfinals would be, by American soccer standards, already historic territory. The best result in USMNT history at a World Cup was the semifinal in 1930, which was a very different era of world football. A quarterfinal appearance in 2026 on home soil with this quality of squad would be a massive moment for the sport in America. And a semifinal, that would be seismic. The path to the final would likely involve knocking out at least one South American or European giant. Brazil, Argentina, France, Germany, England. These are the teams that stand between the United States and making history. Can they do it? Let's be honest. It would be an enormous upset, but upsets happen at World Cups. They happen when a team has a transcendent player, a passionate home crowd, and a belief that they belong. The United States has all three. Scene 7, Fan Culture, the crowd that could carry them. Narrator: let's take a moment to talk about the fans, because in 2026, the American soccer fan base is going to play a role that goes far beyond just watching. American soccer culture has transformed dramatically over the last 2 decades. The growth of MLS, the explosion of European soccer viewership in the United States, the emergence of a generation of fans who grew up watching Champions League football, who have club allegiances in England and Spain, and who now, for the first time, get to channel all of that passion into their national team on home soil. The American Outlaws, the official supporter group of the USMNT, will be present in huge numbers across every city that hosts matches, but they will be joined by millions of casual fans who have been waiting for exactly this moment to fully invest in the national team. There is also something powerful happening culturally right now. Soccer, or football, is no longer a niche sport in America. It is mainstream. The Premier League pulls enormous viewership numbers every weekend. The Champions League final is a massive event. And the arrival of players like Lionel Messi in MLS has added a layer of glamour and global attention to American soccer that simply did not exist before. The 2026 World Cup is going to land in a United States that is genuinely ready for it, a country where soccer has arrived as a major sport and where the national team has players that casual fans can genuinely get excited about. That combination, passionate fans, world-class venue, home advantage, and a team people can believe in, is going to create an atmosphere that the USMNT can feed off throughout the tournament. Scene 8. Historic context. How far has U.S. soccer come? Narrator. To truly appreciate what the USMNT could achieve in 2026, we need to understand where American soccer has come from. For most of the 20th century, the United States was a minor soccer nation. While the rest of the world developed deep soccer cultures and world-class academies, America was focused on baseball, basketball, and American football. The 1994 World Cup, hosted in the United States, was a watershed moment. The tournament was a massive commercial success. It drew huge crowds. It showed American audiences what the World Cup could be. And it directly led to the creation of Major League Soccer, which launched in 1996. But even after 1994, progress was slow. The USMNT had some bright moments. A quarterfinal appearance at the 2002 World Cup was a genuine achievement. But for the most part, American soccer remained in the shadow of the world's established powers. Then something started to shift. American players began moving to Europe in larger numbers. They started getting development opportunities at elite clubs. They learned how to play at the highest level. And a new generation, the generation of Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, and Ricardo Pepi, began to emerge as genuinely world-class talents. The Qatar 2022 World Cup was the moment the world started taking the USMNT seriously. A young, energetic, technically capable team showed they could compete with anyone. They were unlucky not to go further. And now, in 2026, on home soil, with 3 more years of development and experience, this team is going to be even better. Scene 9. Can Pulisic lead USA to the World Cup trophy? Narrator. Let's address the big question directly. Can Christian Pulisic lead the United States to the World Cup trophy in 2026? Honestly, winning the tournament outright would be an extraordinary achievement. The odds against any single team winning a 48-team World Cup are significant, and the United States would need to beat the best teams in the world over the course of a month to do it. But here is what is true. Pulisic is at the peak of his powers. He is in his late 20s, the prime years for a footballer. He is playing at the highest level in club football. He is experienced, he is motivated, and he is playing on home soil for the first time in a World Cup. Everything is aligned for Pulisic to have the tournament of his career. And for great players, great tournaments often come down to one thing: moments. One goal that changes a game. One piece of individual brilliance that swings a match. One performance that the whole world talks about. Pulisic has shown time and time again that he has the ability to produce those moments. At the 2022 World Cup, he scored against Iran in the must-win game and played through physical pain to do it. That kind of determination, that kind of heart, is what separates good players from great ones. In 2026, with the roar of a home crowd behind him, with the best teammates he has ever had around him, And with the full weight of a nation's soccer dreams resting on his shoulders, Christian Pulisic has the chance to become a legend, not just of American soccer, of world football. Scene 10, final thoughts and predictions. Narrator, so where does this all leave us? The United States men's national team is entering the 2026 FIFA World Cup as a team with genuine belief, genuine quality, and a genuine opportunity to make history. Christian Pulisic is their leader, a world-class player in the prime of his career, playing on home soil, motivated beyond anything we have seen before. The supporting cast, E. Adams, Musa, Dest, Pepe, Sargent, gives the USMNT real depth and real options in every position. The home advantage, the crowds, the cities, the cultural moment, gives them an edge that no away team will be able to replicate. And the history of the sport, the upsets, the surprises, the moments that define tournaments, gives us every reason to believe that anything is possible. My prediction? The USMNT reaches the quarterfinals at minimum. If the draw is kind and Pulisic is at his best, a semifinal is absolutely within reach. And if everything clicks, if the stars align and America truly catches fire, well, stranger things have happened. This is the World Cup. This is America's home, and Christian Pulisic is ready to write the next chapter of the greatest story in American soccer history. Make sure you like this video if you believe in the USMNT. Drop a comment below with your World Cup prediction and subscribe so you don't miss a single update as we count down to 2026. Until next time, I'll see you on the pitch.